Hello, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram users. This is FOBO Fuego here with another episode of Wrestlers of Baytown, episode 7, The Arrival of Corner.
Wedge!
I'm here with my legend here, Ledge, Corner, or what was the other one? Side. I think Side was another one too. So somebody said, which was pretty funny. Um, Charlie Boy is with me tonight. How you doing, my friend?
What up? What up? Chilling, hanging out.
All right, Charlie. Cool. All right. Again, no Clifton.
He's in jail.
Last we checked, he's still in jail. He's still trying to find his way to escape.
He's in podcast
But
jail. He's not in jail in real life. He's in podcast jail.
Yeah, podcast jail. He's somehow he apparently he oh, I guess I won't do any speculation, but
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a lot of family business going on right now,
no.
and all that good stuff. So
Right.
without getting too personal, he said weekends are better for him. So the current format we're gonna try to take is after pay-per-views, we'll have our Monday shows at around anywhere the evenings. We were shooting for like 9 or 10 o'clock, but now we're trying to shoot a little bit earlier, maybe 7 to 8. I don't know. So we'll just play that by ear, and then. Whenever we find out a better concrete day to do it, as far as the weekend goes, we'll swap to that for our weekly shows, reviewing like Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, all that.
Now, what I will mention is that I did like the format on Thursday. I did like that day. So, just a little, maybe on Thursdays, maybe we're gonna try and see. Of course, we're trying to plan this around Clifton's schedule as well because we want him to be on. And I know he has a lot of good insight in wrestling because I know he's a big fan as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to do it whenever and of course he has like family things he needs to take care of, which I hope they get settled soon. But I'm just letting you know, we still thinking about you, Clifton. As long as you don't get into that Vince McMahon limo, we'll like we know you're coming.
Yes,
All right. With that being said, we're going to talk about something interesting that happened last night. A little pay-per-view called Wrestledream, which made its debut in AEW for the first time. And it was considered a tribute show for the late Antonio Inoki, who's back from last year.
Oh man.
They made it go with a New Japan, like made a tribute show. Yeah.
Oh, you there?
Tribute show for him, and they do a New Japan. Yeah.
You are breaking up like really bad. Hold on. Let me see if I can refresh the room or something. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Better? Is it better?
Yeah, seems to be a little better. Nah, it was all cybernetic. Like you couldn't even hear it. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it does that kind of thing sometimes. I don't know.
Did I turn to Cybertron for a moment?
You sounded like pixelated. You sounded really pixelated.
Oh.
But
how about now?
Sounds a little better. It sounds better now. Yeah, it didn't. It's not chopping up. So.
All right. So back to what I was saying before. So this was considered an Antonio Inoki tribute show, which AEW asked if they could borrow some of their wrestlers from New Japan to be a part of it, and it was basically a super show. And basically, there was a lot of good matches on the card, a lot of anticipated matches that a lot of people have been waiting for, and all in all, it became one of the better pay-per-views of the year because no one knew what to expect from the pay-per-view, and it over-exceeded all expectations, in my opinion. You got to see a little bits and pieces of the event, Charlie Boy. What did you think of the event?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was kind of bored, but yeah. Well, I mean, maybe bored's not the right word because I was busy. So I kind of missed the first two matches, and those I actually kind of was more interested in than some of the other matches, I guess. for whatever reason.
All
Uh, but no, it was a pretty good event overall. Yeah, like as far as the table of contents go, I've got the match list for the event.
Yeah,
If we want
I
to go
feel like
down
we're
it,
gonna go over the main card,
Mhm.
so that way we can cover more ground with that and not be focusing so much on the I guess you can say like the pre-show so much. Like we're going to talk about it, but not in great detail.
Okay. I
So what's up?
I put Cliff in jail, but
Okay.
on the video feed. But
Okay.
yeah, it kind of messed up, so I'm gonna have to work on it a little bit.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go with 0 hour, and just to do a brief little, I guess you can say quick fire.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna go over some of these results right quick.
Oh yeah, I didn't have
Be-
0 hour there. I didn't put 0 hour
yeah.
in there.
Yeah. So we're just gonna talk about the results. So we had Kojima, Keith Lee, and Starks and Athena defeated Martinez, Diamante, Taylor, and Moriarty. As part of the first match, also we had Castagnoli, which I was surprised was on the 0 hour show. Go up against Barnett, which was not even expecting that, which was apparently it was a good match. Luchasaurus defeated Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
and the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass defeated TMDK. So those are the matches that happened before the main card. Were you able to see any of those matches?
I think I seen bits and pieces of the acclaimed match, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I was. I got to see the other ones. Yeah, no, that whole time frame, like yesterday and even today, we've been dealing with our contract is up for our internet service, so we've been dealing on the phone, playing phone tag with Xfinity, which is ridiculous. Basically, long story short, I think we're done now, but it took like 2 days and it was ridiculous. Like, uh, I don't know.
So I take that as a no.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was doing that yesterday, and then the podcast time was coming, or sorry, the pay per view time was coming up, so I ended up walking the dog, and then had to eat something too, so I was kind of fixing food during that time as well. As far
Yeah.
into, I mean, I got to see a little bits and pieces of Kingston and Shibata, and then Statlander and Julia Hart, even, which was on the main show, but I didn't get to watch the pre-show at all.
Okay. Well, if it make you feel better, neither did I. The only thing that I was able to catch was the ending of Castagnoli and Barnett, but that was because um, while you were you were asking if we were gonna do like a chat in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
I was also doing cleaning here as well at home, so I had it playing in the background, but I didn't really get to see much of it. But I do want to look back and actually watch it because the only thing I'll talk about from the 0 hour is that Castagnoli and Barnett ended in a sense where Castagnoli got the win, but it kind of led to where Barnett praised him, but he pretty much gave a cryptic message to Castagnoli saying that he wants a run back, which basically leads to the Josh Barnett's his blood sport events. So might be teased later in the future. So that was an interesting little tidbit the good little wrinkle they added in there towards the end. John Moxley was in commentary for that match, and as you can tell, even though he wasn't part of the show, he had a lot of fun commentating some of the matches. Of course, his language needs to be tweaked a little bit, because he's dropping f bombs, and the good thing is it wasn't like broadcasted over basic cable, but
Man,
he
bump that because it was a pay per view, so I was actually like, I know, yeah, he was doing that, but dude, I was all for it. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I
I
loved
was
it.
loving it. Oh man.
So all in all, the 0 hour was a good hook to get the people to buy the pay per view that were kind of like second guessing it, because
Mm.
that kind of made it. That kind of set the tone for the rest of the night. And so since you didn't see the 0 hour, and I didn't really see anything of it, let's move on to the main card.
Okay.
So let's see here. I'm looking at the list here. We have for the very first match, MJF, which I have to correct something that we mentioned last week. I said they're gonna fight the Kingdom, but we were wrong. They fought against the Righteous, so I'm thinking they're saving that later down the line. But they're all the Righteous. They're mostly from Ring of Honor. I believe this is their AEW debut, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and they went up against the AEW World Heavyweight Champion and one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, MJF, on a 2-on-1 handicap match. Um, so there was a lot of boasting from MJF from the beginning of the match, basically telling telling the Righteous that he's gonna grab.
Telling the Righteous something.
Yeah, you hear?
Yeah, now I can hear. Oh, hello, hello.
Still here?
Yep.
Man, we have to figure this thing out. Like, it wasn't doing this much issues. But anyway, so MGF basically went on into his match one partner less. Adam Cole, of course, is injured, which has to get surgery. So the match starts. MJF is getting, the upper hand, doing his scumbag ways. Getting the upper hand here and there, which looks like he's doing good until he starts to get like overwhelmed slightly, and when he goes for a tag, he realizes that Adam Cole is not there, and he has this moment of like, oh wow, I'm by myself. Uh, I really have to fight. I really have to fight these two guys. So their actions get the upper hand. They start doing their thing. A lot of close calls, and then MJF somehow gets the upper hand once again. That's where the cheating starts, and basically lands the kangaroo kick, and lands the heat seeker, pins one of the Righteous members, and actually puts his feet on the ropes to get the win. MJF retained the ROH Tag Team Champions. I believe you did not get to see this match, correct?
I got to see bits and pieces of that too. Yeah, so I guess I did see like the very end of it. I saw the kangaroo kick part of it.
Your favorite move?
Bro, I don't understand why it's so good, but yeah, sure, favorite. Yeah.
He actually in the media scrum talks about why, like, because people they started saying that MJF is doing these gimmick matches, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But MJF's response to that is that he is a fan of the old school style of wrestling where basic moves are just as important as the high spot moves. You know what I mean? So he even told himself and told everybody that it's more of a challenge to put a move that is basically an everyday thing to a lot of wrestlers over like the way that he does. He gets you to care about the move, whether you like it or not.
Right.
So so to him is like it's a challenge for him to do that, which I always understood because I knew that that's what they were going for, because that's how they were able to get over for so long. And I liked the idea of like basic moves, and also not only that too, they don't really have to destroy each other just to have a good match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but like the style I feel like he's trying to emulate is similar to like an '80s Ric Flair style, like more of a heavy grapple style of wrestling, similar to like the '80s wrestlers like Hogan or Flair or
Like a showman.
yeah, like some sort of showman of sorts, which is fine. I mean, but Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. kind of give a better technical wrestling. Without
I got so much. I got so much to say about that match, dude.
without the whole fluff. Like some of it's fluff. It just feels like to me like. I mean, it's cool that he's going for it. I like the fact that he's doing something different, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, dude. It is fluff, and he knows it.
Yeah.
But he's getting you to care about the fluff.
He might be getting you to care about the fluff. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, I care about the fluff. I like the fluff.
Oh man, no, I mean, I do like some of it, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like some of it is just kind of like, oh man, what's he doing? But
he got. I don't know. So yeah, he got. So here's the thing. I'm a sucker for the old school wrestling because yeah, it's quirky and sometimes it is stupid. Don't get me wrong. Like I know, I know when it's dumb and not, but I do like the fact that the wrestler MJF is having fun.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, and when you have fun, it gravitates to everybody else, and everyone else gets to have fun too. So that's an important thing about wrestling. And also, I'm not saying that AEW is the only one that does it. WWE, whenever they have to, they know when to have fun as well. But it takes a special type of wrestler to kind of like make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And MJF is one of those types to where his character can pull something off like that because remember, he is a scumbag.
He's our scumbag.
He's our scumbag, yeah. And so as a scumbag, you'll take like you'll be the type of person to say, I can beat you with a basic move. That's what he did to Darby Allin. He beat him with a headlock takeover, even though he cheated. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
he worked his way to that point to where he used a basic move, and even though it was under controversial circumstances, he used that move to win. Which in turn translated to him using other basic moves to take the win too. So I think it's pretty smart that he's able to do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I do like some of his stuff. Other stuff I'm not so keen on, but I mean, yeah, I mean, the handicap match, good stuff overall. I feel like he'll probably end up continuing. I guess maybe final thoughts on this topic since we have gone a little bit long on it. But,
yeah. My final thought is that it was a good match. MJF had fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. MJF had fun. It was a good match. And I liked it.
Yeah, no, yeah, same. It was a good match. From what I saw of it, anyway. Seems like he was having fun. From what you described about the spots he did, sounded like fun. And no, I mean, I feel like they're going to use this 2 out of 3 match, or excuse me, handicap match stipulation again, and that might be what causes like Adam and his fallout.
Okay.
Like they lose the belts. He's not able to take on X tag team and retain, so they lose him.
Okay.
And then the story will be something like, okay, now they have to get him back, or either that, or MJF and Adam will have a fallout, and then Adam will go join Roderick Strong in the Kingdom, I guess? Question mark.
Yep. Well, we guess we're not gonna know until once Adam Cole comes back, which is gonna be a good minute.
Yeah.
So I think it's only to me. I'm gonna be surprised how long. I'm gonna be surprised how long they're gonna keep the Ring of Honor titles on MJF. That's the only thing I'm curious about, but only time will tell. All right, so going on to our second match, we have Eddie Kingston versus Shibata, and Eddie Kingston put his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title and the NJPW Strong title on the line. So he's not just putting one title; he put up both titles on the line against the pure champion of Ring of Honor, Shibata.
And this is the beginning of the actual show.
This is this is where the smacking starts to happen.
Real quick, let's go through the table of contents right quick, so that way, if anybody wants to skip ahead or whatever. So, the show had Kingston versus Shibata. It had Statlander versus Julia Hart. Had Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros versus Orange Cassidy and Hook versus the Guns in a 4-way tag team tornado match. You had Swerve versus Hangman. You had Wheeler Yuta versus Ricky Starks with John Moxley on commentary. You had Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. with Moxley on commentary. You had Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus the Don Callis family, aka Konosuke Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. And then FTR versus Aussie Open, and then main event Darby Allin versus Christian. So okay.
What a card!
So if you guys want to skip ahead to any of those parts, feel free. But we're getting into Kingston versus Shibata.
Were you able to watch that one?
No.
No,
No, I didn't get to see that one. I didn't get to see. I mean, bits and pieces, but I didn't get to see Statlander versus Julia Hart either, which looked like it was actually pretty good for the most part. The bits I did get to see of it.
So, bro, these two were smacking the bejeebies out of each other. You want to talk about strong style? It was there, dude. Shibata, of course, very good striker, strong technician. And Kingston, known for his style, great brawler, can throw you around if he wants to. Anything that you would think happened in the match actually happens here. A lot of close calls against Kingston. Shibata had him in a lot of tight submissions, and Kingston did a good job of fighting out of those said submissions. There was some moments where they would smack each other in the face, trading blows, trading the patented Eddie Kingston backhands, and again, Kingston does the backhand, catches Shibata, and picks him up for the powerbomb for the win. He has defended. He has been successful in his first title defense of the Ring of Honor title, and he's continuing his title defense with the new NJPW title. So Eddie Kingston is showing his worth here. They both shared a moment in the ring where they were both sitting cross-legged style, and they both showed embrace for Antonio Inoki. Shibata being actually, I did not know this until the media scrum. As a young child, he basically grew up with Inoki, and Inoki basically was another father figure towards him. So be a part of this match meant a lot for him. So it was a lot of good feelings there.
Yeah, I did see. Did they do this on the pre-show where they did like Inoki's grandchildren came into the ring, or?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, somebody said they cut the Christian Cage during that section.
Okay. Look, so that was actually mentioned in the media scrum too, because I think that did actually happen. And they asked Christian that, and he goes, "So they said you were watching the tribute, right?" And then Christian goes, "Yes."
Yeah,
I watched everything.
I think that's how I found out about it. Was because of the media scrum. But yeah, I mean, I guess Did he?
That'd be crazy. That would be crazy if he did come out during that. That'd be insane.
I guess it was more of a respect thing that he didn't like go into further detail, or of course like shit all over the grandkids or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
like his current character arc is just to kind of talk trash about
the dads.
people's dead family. So
So I'll say this: it's good to know that Christian is not just limited to just the parents. He's also targeting the grandparents as well.
right.
He's like reaching really far. Uh, but yeah. So the match was really good. Do you have any thoughts on the Shibata versus Kingston match?
I mean, yeah, no. From what I saw, Kingston looked like he did a pretty good job. The backhands and all that. From what you're telling me as well. I mean, those spots seem pretty in line with what he's got going on. I do feel like it's good that he retained the titles um, because yeah, he just won. He just won both of them, really, kind of, sort of. I mean, maybe New Japan's Strong title, maybe about a month ago, but the Ring of Honor title, he obviously just won recently, and then I mean, I could see where maybe they'd want Shibata to take the New Japan Strong belt, but I wouldn't see where they would want him to take both belts right now, especially since he is the ROH Pure champion as well. So, but cool match, cool thought. As far as like get what champion versus champion. Yeah, I mean that's a cool thing that happened.
I agree. All right. So with that being said, we have the next match, which was Chris Statlander as the TBS champion versus Julia Hart from House of Black. And I have to say something before we get the match started.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever talked about this before. Julia's Hart entrance is amazing.
Yeah.
They put in a lot of work into her. I got to see her progression since she's been with AEW for the last, I want to say, almost 2 years now. From her for story progression up until where she's now in the House of Black, she's matured a lot, and her in-ring work has gotten a lot better. And that was on pure display today. On that day, I should say. So a lot of good back and forth. A lot of her, she was showing more of her speed, guard. There was a lot of, believe it or not, hope spots where Julia Hart almost defeated Chris Statlander, and the Washington crowd actually was down for her to win. They were cheering for her at some moments, to the point to where almost towards the end, Julia Hart was setting up for a moonsault and was basically fighting for that spot. Kicks down Statlander, goes for the moonsault, lands it, and people lost their minds. So people were actually showing their approval for Julia Hart to be the next champion if it would have happened. But then Statlander manages to get her up for a tombstone and picked her up and then landed the what was the other signature called again? The
Heartless.
no. The for Statlander.
Statlander. Friday Night Fever or whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever day of the
Saturday
week
Night
it
Fever.
is. Whatever day of
Yeah,
the week
Saturday
it
Night
is.
Fever.
I
I
think.
think it's Saturday Night Fever.
Well, no. What it is, it's whatever day of the week it is, and then Night Fever. So like yesterday, it would have been Sunday Night Fever.
Okay, Sunday Night Fever then.
They go with whatever day of the week it is. So like whenever she hits it on Dynamite, it's called Wednesday Night Fever, and then when she hits it on Rampage, it's Friday night, and then Collision, it's Saturday night. So.
Oh, okay, that's actually pretty neat. So in this case, it was lands the Sunday Night Fever for the win, and the match was really good. I liked it a lot. Again, giving Julia Hart her props. I was very impressed with her style and how much she was able to progress. Her in-ring work has gotten a lot better, and Statlander for keeping up with her and actually showing why she's the champion. So I actually enjoyed this match a lot. There are some matches I thought those were going to be a sleeper matches where you're like, oh, I'll probably be a little bit bored of this. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was gonna be one of them, but I'm glad I was proven wrong with that. So, kudos to the women. Charlie Boy, what did you think of the match?
I mean, the women have been doing really good as far as pay-per-view matches here recently. I mean, it probably would have benefited Julia as far as career standpoint to get the belt,
Yeah,
especially since I believe the House of Black has the trios titles currently. So then you would have a title on everyone in the stable.
actually, they don't.
They don't have the AEW tree. Oh yeah, that's right. They lost it to the Acclaimed. Yeah, I
The
forgot.
acclaimed
The Acclaimed
and
and
Daddy
Daddy
Ass.
S. Yeah, which debuted the pink scissor belts and all that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
But
and they have the actual scissors on the side plates.
yeah, the
I'm
belt.
making that up. I'm making that up. I don't know if they actually have that.
No, the belt itself, where it connects, the two ends are actually scissors.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, no, it's they were scissoring with the belts whenever they debuted them, like the two
That looks
ends,
neat.
or at least I don't know if they're exactly like if they've got the graphic of scissors, but they are cut into a fashion to where like it's like a pair of scissors at the end,
Yeah.
which is pretty neat, but. Nevertheless, I mean, if the House of Black would have had the trios championship, trios championship belt still, then that would have been a cool thing. I wouldn't mind to see her do good. I wouldn't crazy about her cheerleader gimmick, and I'm not really crazy about this gimmick either. However, I
But
mean,
compared to the two though, like, don't you think this one's better than her cheerleader one?
this one is a little better than her cheerleader one. I did like the whole bubbly aspect of her personality then, and now she doesn't
Died.
fit.
She just died.
She doesn't necessarily fit the dark character as well as I think, because you can still see some of that bubbly shine through, especially like in her off periods. When she's not like when she's doing interviews and stuff. She's not like all like I don't know, intimidating, I guess, is the word I'm looking. I don't know what the word I'm looking. Like, for instance, Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, even in her off character, like her haircut and like the way she presents herself is kind of like, or at least currently, she's kind of like a darkish type figure, I guess. Or maybe like hardcore heavy metal type figure. I don't know.
Okay, but that's how she really is.
Right,
Granted,
exactly.
granted, Julia Hart's not like that all the time because, like, remember, they're just characters.
True, but I mean,
but I do get what you're coming from. Like, you want her to kind of like live that style, and like in a sense to kind of make it more impactful.
I mean, I don't, but I do. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody that isn't into it. But whatever. As like, I would say that I could just see her even now listening to like Britney Spears and chewing bubblegum or something going down the road, or something, like on the way to the next show and like, hit me, baby, one more time, or something like that. I don't know, but I'll
You heard
say
it here, folks. Charlie knows Britney Spears.
I mean, who doesn't know that song? Come on now. But regardless, no. I did watch an interview recently. I think it was her and Simon Miller. I don't know how long ago it was, but they did kind of tell about. They talked about like her character change and whatnot, and Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. and blah 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 blah, and the cheerleader gimmick and how it kind of all just split at the same time. And she was actually the one that pitched it to where she would like, because she wanted to go somewhere else. She was tired of being a cheerleader, and since she got spit on, she wanted, like, with the Black Mist by Malachi, she wanted to go somewhere with it. So apparently she pitched some ideas or something, and then like did like a little promo in front of the House of Black, and they liked it, and then they brought her in the group. So the rest is history type stuff. But regardless, I mean, I could see her moving forward with the belt. She kind of needs one pretty soon, I think. Because every time I see her in the ring, if it's not against like a jobber, I'm just like, she's probably about to lose. And it's been like that for like a year and a half or 2 years now. I just want to see her character develop a little further and move forward.
Well, the good thing is that before they got rid of AEW Dark and Elevation, she was racking up wins and actually against some notable people. And then whenever that finished up, she had defeated Anna Jay. She defeated who else? Sky Blue. Even what's her name? What's her name? The one that injured for Mercedes Monet.
Willow Nightingale.
Willow Nightingale. Yeah, it's like so she's gotten pretty good notable wins leading up to this. Prior, to this match, but I do like the progression. Like I said, I got to keep up with her career in AEW because there was something there in the beginning, and you can tell that she was super green still. But now you're starting to see all the pieces started to kind of like roll together at once, and the pieces are starting to fit better. So, like so far, I like the directions that she's going. I do get the idea of like if you're gonna be this type of character, you kind of have to live it a little bit. But I do feel that she's doing it well enough to where it's still pretty convincing whenever it's in the ring. So the match was good.
Yeah, no, the match was good. Statlander. I mean, I've kind of talked about her new character. It's growing on me a little bit, but I'm still not nuts about it. But I'm glad she retained. She definitely deserves to hold a title for a long time. I'd rather see her with the women's title. She never won the women's title, did she?
Who?
Statlander. She got close a couple times. She got close a couple times, and then she got injured and went away. And now she come back and got the TBS championship. I'm pretty sure. So, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's like a clear line in the women's division of the wrestlers that are like up and coming, that are probably going to take the losses, versus the wrestlers that are more established that are going to take the wins. Like Saraya, Paige, or AKA the same person. Britt Baker, Statlander. It would have been Jade Cargill as well, being on the side that's obviously going to take wins. Thunder Rosa as well whenever she returns,
which is pretty close from what I understand.
Right. And then the other side, which is like the wrestlers that are a little bit that are close to being pushed over the line, but they're not there yet, which is like Julia Hart, Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue. Anna Jay's on the other side of the line as well. I didn't mention her, but I'd say she's on the other side.
Yeah, so it's good to see that the homegrown talents are actually getting more attention, which like to me is like we're not relying as much as the veterans. Which is basically what you want for company to do, because star power is important, but star power is nothing without the people that can actually do the work in the ring. You know what I mean?
I just want to see the line blurred a little bit more. But yeah, no, good match overall. Glad Statlander retained. That's my final thoughts.
All right, cool. All right, next match we have the Guns versus Orange Cassidy and Hook versus Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. This is a chance to win a opportunity for the AEW tag team titles, which is a 4-way tag team match.
Yeah, I called it a tornado tag, but it wasn't really a tornado tag because tornado tags everyone's at the ring at the same time. This was like just a 4 different tag team match to where you have to like tag people that aren't on your team sometimes and stuff like that, which I'm not really nuts about that style, but go ahead.
Yeah. So early in the match, Rey Fénix gets taken out. Apparently he got injured during the match, but I believe it's from an injury that he got previously on another episode of Dynamite from his title defense. But I think it's kayfabe, so he's going to face against Nick Jackson this coming Wednesday for the international title. But with that being said, a lot of spots, a lot of tag team moves. Of course, Orange Cassidy and Hook being the new team in there, they were putting in their work. There was a good sequence between Hook and Matt Jackson where they keep doing the Northern Light suplex on each other repeatedly. They would be basically trading suplexes,
Yeah.
and it was a good. I like seeing stuff like that. I love the tag team sequence where the Young Bucks basically do the running do-si do, and then their opponents are in the corner, and then they do a running super kick each to their opponents. Um, we had moments where the Guns could have stolen the match, where they did a callback to when their dad and I guess you could say uncle did it. Road Dogg Jesse James, where they pinned each other.
Yeah.
Um, and they're trying to steal the match because if you remember back in the '90s, there was a similar match between the Outlaws, Legion of I guess it was like a biker gang. I forgot the name of the biker gang, and Legion of Doom. And there was a moment where Billy Gunn and Road Dogg got tagged in at the same time, and they just pinned each other, and they kept the titles. And the Guns did that callback, and the ref said, "No, we're not doing that here." So that was a funny moment. Um, us Hook getting super kicked. I believe he got kicked in the back of the head too, which looked kind of gnarly. Um, it was a lot of high spots. Pentagon doing his best to, you know, take on these teams by himself because basically he was just left to him by himself. And the Young Bucks ended up taking the match, which now they will have a rematch against FTR at a later date.
Young Bucks versus FTR4. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
So
So I'll say the Guns at the beginning of the match. That spot was pretty nice. There was a spot that they went back to that I'm kind of tired of seeing, which is like the same 4-person suplex spot that they've done before. I mean, I'm glad they didn't go to 8 because I think it was
yeah,
all in.
I thought it was.
At all in, they went all the way to an 8-person suplex, and I was just thinking like, okay, this has been done before. Whenever I started when I started seeing them going back and forth with like, I'm gonna suplex you, no reversal. I'm gonna suplex you, and then like a third person comes on, then the fourth person comes on. When the fourth person came on this time, I was just like, I've seen this spot before. Please don't do it anymore.
Well, they stopped at 4, which is a good thing.
Yeah, they didn't go all the way to 8 this time. That was good.
Yeah, so it was good to see the Young Bucks getting the title shot again. FTR Young Bucks 4. Um, kind of curious what they're gonna do now because I think it might be like I don't know if they might do a ladder match or I don't know if they might do a 2 out of 3 falls. But wait, didn't they do 2 out of 3 falls at All In or no? It was just one fall, right?
Oh man, I don't remember.
I think it was just one fall. So I think if anything, they might do 2 out of 3 falls because I think they got to the point to where they're like, you know what, we fought each other enough already. Let's just do 2 out of 3. Get our matches worth out of this. So I'm really curious what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I'm tired of watching FTR versus Young Bucks, but this isn't very long after their first series of matches, so I kind of want to see them with new tag teams. But I mean, then again, who else do you put them against?
At the moment, the teams are there. It's just there's like a member on each team doing something different at the moment. So it's like a weird situation where like I could see the Guns maybe taking it. I even saw maybe Aussie Open taking it. But as of right now, there's like maybe I don't know, just a handful of tag teams.
Here's what's gonna happen. Uh, there's 2 scenarios that I see that's gonna happen.
Okay.
FTR is going to lose the belts to the Young Bucks again, or FTR is going to retain, and they're going to go on and fight the Hardys, and then the Hardys are going to win the belts, and then that's going to set up for Hardys versus Young Bucks down the road. One of the other, but I believe it's going to be Hardys versus Young Bucks with a title on the line down the road. I'd like to see the Hardys versus FTR. That would be cool. So it would be even cooler if the Hardys retained. Or sorry, the FTR, if FTR retains, so that way they can fight the Hardys later on down the line. And then when the Hardys do maybe take the belts off them, because you need a tag team with a name to take the belts off them at this point, I think. Young Bucks of course, Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, they are well established. They all have names, all that good stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to say it's getting close to the time for a title change on that. And I don't know. I think either one of those two teams are going to do it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Next match.
Yeah.
They have. Let me see.
Swerve when I drive, when I swerve, when I drive, when I swerve, when I swerve. It's Swerve versus Hangman.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
That was a soundboard, air horn, but I didn't press it. But that's funny. I don't know how. I don't know why that just come up in here. That's cool.
Oh well. Guess what? I have a soundboard too.
Was that you that did it? Okay.
Yes, I have one too.
Yeah.
You know what else?
The Discord soundboard. Yeah.
It's about to go quackers in here. That's all I got. Okay.
I'll give you a golf clap for it. And,
thank you.
And a
thank you.
A tis.
Yeah. Watch it not even come out on the podcast.
No, it's coming out because I can hear it. So like, I just record desktop audio. So anything that you play, as far if I can hear it in my headset, then it'll come out on the podcast.
Yeah. So all right, good to know. All right, so we have Swerve Strickland in his home state versus Hangman Adam Page. The crowd was not feeling Hangman at all. They booed him the entire time the match happened. Basically, they each wrestler played it to where Hangman was kind of the heel and Swerve was kind of the face, but they didn't turn or anything. They just played a little bit on the line of how much they can get away with, since Swerve is considered the hometown hero.
Right.
There was a lot of good moments. I didn't know this, but I didn't know that Hangman stabbed Swerve Strickland in the hand with the pin. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw that was during the contract signing.
Yeah. Yeah, he stabbed him in the hand, and which that came into play. There was a lot of moments where Hangman was basically pissing off the crowd. Strickland hanging in there, gets to the point to where he has the advantage, and he almost breaks Adam Page's arm, and the crowd loved it. Strickland kept doing the stomps on him, like off of the top rope, the running back kick. He kept trying to get the win, but him and Page keeps getting out. And then somehow, some way, Adam Page gets the will to land the buckshot lariat with his messed up arm, goes for the pin, and Prince Nana was at ringside. He got caught cheating, so he basically got ejected. As he was getting ejected, he left his crown in the ring, and where Hangman tries to go for another buckshot. Strickland hits him basically intercepted him, or I should say anti-aired him with the crown, and basically got the win.
Yeah.
So Swerve won a very tough match with with a very dangerous handicap with the injury on his hand, but pulled through.
Yeah, my thoughts were let's see. I think I'm not sure if that was brand new gear or just a different color variant of the same old gear, but I wasn't nuts about the brown because it looked a little bit too much like tights on Hangman. I was like, bro, is that see through? Can I see his leg? I don't know. Glad they have the black part over his schlong there because
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
over his nether regions. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
regardless, my notes, the swerve stop on the apron, whenever that happened,
that was cool.
Prince Nana did this little swerve Strickland dance going backwards,
Yeah,
which
I love when he does it.
I thought that was pretty funny.
He's getting the crowd started doing it.
Yeah,
The crowd started doing it whenever he was getting ejected. If you look again on the hard cam, you can see a lot of the people doing the dance as Prince Nana was leaving. But and as soon as as soon as Hangman wins, Prince Nana starts doing the dance.
yeah,
Also, I was like, dude, he's basically getting that move over.
yeah. Like, I mean, so I get he does it whenever like they walk to the ring or whatever, and that's part of his character and whatnot. But whenever he did it after the swerve stomp on the apron, I thought it was funny because he did it a little bit faster, and he did it as like a celebration, and he was walking backwards with
Yeah,
it, and he was on camera with it, and I was just like, yo, that was great. That was great. I was laughing.
oh man, I had a good laugh with that. I'm like, my wife even laughed at that too. She's like, "Why is he dancing like that?" I was like, "I don't know. That's how he is."
Nice.
But it was a really good match.
Um,
Final thoughts?
Let's see. Well, I got that. I got Swerve. I got the same pretty much that you did. Swerve wins after Nana distraction, and Swerve hits Hangman with the crown. Then the GML or JML driver. I don't know. It was hard to understand what he was calling that move, but
I think it's G.
yeah, GML driver. So I mean, yeah, I feel Swerve needs some wins. He's lost quite a bit on pay per views and whatnot. So it was
But he
cool.
lost. But he won a big one though tonight. I mean, last night
Yeah, yeah. So
he won a big one.
he did get the win in, so that's pretty cool. Also, it was cool that they panned the camera afterwards to Sean Kemp from the Seattle Supersonics, which was pretty cool. They showed that he was
Yeah.
in attendance. So
They were saying that what's his name? Okay, so Swerve was mentioning that they're going to where the most rowdiest fans in Seattle, which is basically like in the flip and like for the Seahawks for the football team, like undoubtedly they have one of the loudest crowds in the nation, and they made themselves feel heard in this match, because they Swerve made it a point during the contract signing, like, you're going to my territory, and you're going to my hometown. You're going to go through my advantages, and he basically just took advantage of his advantages,
yeah,
and so the match was very good. He needed that win, and I think it's a good stepping stone to help elevate him to get towards a title shot later down the line. So it's a good start.
yeah, right
Heck of a
on.
good start.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, so next match we have Tony Stark. Ricky Starks. Tony Stark is Iron Man. I don't know what I'm thinking. Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta, and very entertaining fight. There was a lot of stiff shots thrown by Ricky to Wheeler, but Wheeler responds back very quickly. Also, on notice, John Moxley's on commentary, so he's also commentating the match. Very entertaining as well. So there's a lot of moments where Ricky Starks is basically just disrespecting Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta is basically telling him to, like, you're gonna respect me, and they keep trading blows. There's moments where there are a lot of neat pin attempts were happening. Ricky Starks, hanging in there, trying to take advantage. He's doing the wall. He's doing the rope walk, and he's pointing at John Moxley. And I think Nigel McGuinness is asking him, like, he's pointing at you, at Moxley. What do you think? And Moxley even said, he goes, I'm not going to lie, that's pretty cool. So he wasn't bothered by Ricky Starks at all. And, of course, Big Bill comes out trying to interfere. Almost interferes, but Wheeler Yuta kicks him in the nuts. But as he does that, Ricky Starks takes advantage of the situation. I believe he blows him as well, and he hits him with the Rochambeau for the win. One notable thing is that as he did the pin, he kept staring at Moxley, which probably indicates the next match for Ricky Starks. He's gunning for Moxley next. What are your thoughts on the match?
Well, let's see. This is another match that I had to get up and kind of do some stuff for. So I really didn't get to watch much of this one either. Wheeler Yuta, the strong competitor. It was cool that Moxley's still out there kind of supporting him. Of course they would because of Blackpool Combat Club stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Ricky Starks has been doing some pretty good heel work lately. Did Big Bill get involved in this match at all? I don't think he did he? Or did he?
He tried to, but Wheeler Yuta kicked him in the nuts. Were you talking about Moxley?
No. I was talking about Big Bill. Did Big Bill come in at all?
No, he didn't. He tried to, but like I said, Wheeler kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah.
So not really much was done.
So yeah, I mean, I need to watch this one back, but I don't have a whole lot of comments on it, honestly. It seems like an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's a good way to continue the feud between Ricky Starks and the Blackpool Combat Club because of course he lost to Bryan Danielson and of course he defeated Wheeler Yuta, which was only natural to where he's going to go up against Jon Moxley or Castagnoli next. So it's really good to see that the story progression and it's like Moxley was not really involved because he's still under concussion protocol.
Yeah.
So, whenever he gets,
I would say that's a good way to keep him involved, as have him on comms a bit.
Yeah.
Although it wouldn't be terrible for him to take a complete break currently.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind if he actually did take a small little break because he does need one. He does deserve it. But I do like the idea that if he doesn't want to be home, at least do commentary or something, So it's good to see that he's doing okay. So apparently, is
I don't know
in our chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even tease it right now. I'd just wait to see what happens.
Okay.
Personally, I mean.
All right. Well, I was there.
We'll see.
We wanted to make sure.
We might have a jailbreak. Maybe not.
Oh.
I don't know.
I thought you said no teases.
Oh snap! Is it a jailbreak? Do we have a jailbreak? Is a jailbreak happening right now?
Did we just get hacked?
Okay, nobody keep me in jail. Nobody.
Oh, he's here. He's here. He's breaking out of jail.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, Cliff? Hey, Cliff
How
made
you
it.
doing, man?
He made it.
Woo!
I did it.
We are officially episode 2. All 3 of us together.
Fair warning, I might have some kid aggro, but I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
Oh my God! People were thinking you were our imaginary friend.
Oh, my bad, man.
You're good. You're good. It's very good to hear from you again.
Kids and teenagers in life, man.
I heard. Well, I hope everything gets better.
Oh yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
it will.
So we can. I have to ask this question. Were you able to watch anything from Wrestledream last night?
I was.
Okay. Were you able to watch this next match we're about to talk about? Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
I did.
You did? Okay. Charlie Boy, were you able to see it?
Yeah, I got to see it.
All right. So, Cliff, so basically what's going to happen is I'm going to talk about the match. Probably going to gush a little,
Hmm.
basically talk about key moments, what happened, and the result. And then from there, we're all going to put in our 2 cents.
Perfect.
Perfect? Okay. So, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson is probably one of the biggest dream matches I've always wanted to see in the modern era. And
Hmm.
if you listened to us last week through, or our last episode through our glitchy episode, I should call it, we were talking about I was talking about the concern of Bryan Danielson because of the whole injury that he's going through.
Right. The
Um,
retirement run.
right. So I was going into this match. I was a little nervous, but after how everything started, the first 3 minutes of them just trying to get the upper hand on one another, like submission attempts being countered with another counter, trying to get the upper hand. Oh my goodness! You want to talk about a master class of technical wrestling? This was it,
I mean, it was literally a class, man.
dude. Like there were moments where Zack Sabre Jr. immediately went for that right arm, where as we know is still technically injured.
Hmm.
Um, and Brian sold it really well. He was screaming. Got the whole time that they were trying to try to grab the arm. He even goaded him into using his right arm for the European uppercut, and Zack Sabre Jr. basically checked it, causing him to hurt it even more. Those submissions, the joint manipulation. Oh my god, this dude
Well,
is so good. Uh,
that that was the best part. Like before the pay per view, I was showing my middle kid. He was taking him home, and he was like, "Who's Zack Sabre Jr.?" So
oh,
let me let me show you some highlights, son. And he goes, he's like, Daniel Bryan's fighting that guy. So yeah, it's gonna be rough.
oh man, and it was rough.
Hmm.
Um, of course, Zack Sabre Jr. Doing his thing, twisting the neck, twisting the arms, in awkward positions. But Danielson doing the same thing, doing a dragon through moment where I don't know if it looked like it looked way gnarlier than it should have. But he hit him with a dragon screw, and I think Zack Sabre Jr. put his foot in and he twisted it a little bit more, and it looked like it hurt. Um, and my wife saw that, and she's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "I know." They did it great, and I was just like in awe the whole time. There was a lot of close calls. The submissions that Zack Sabre Jr. I've never thought I'll see the day that Zack Sabre Jr. would turn Bryan Danielson into a pretzel. I never thought I'd ever see the day like that.
But the
And
submissions. Go ahead. Go
he
ahead.
had him hurting. Yeah, he had him hurting, dude. So the match continues. Strikes are being landed, leg kicks, everything. Um, well, Danielson lands the running knee. He continue, trying to do what he can to trying to take him out. It's like to me, I felt it should have ended with a submission, but Danielson wins with a strike and takes the win. He reaches out to Zack Sabre Jr. for a handshake, and Zack said no. He walked
No,
off,
no,
and
no.
I
Zach
don't
won
think
that match.
no.
Still the best technical wrestler. He didn't win by a strike.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's basically what I was going to get at. So I don't think this is over.
No way. No.
There has to be a rubber match where I think there has to be a submission win from these two. There has to be. We have to know before he retires
Well,
who is the best technical wrestler in the world. We have
I
to.
didn't I didn't catch any of it, but did they actually like touch on their history?
They did, and I believe on Collision they talked about it a little bit. Even I believe the day before, Zack Sabre Jr. walked into the ring and confronted Danielson. So they
I
had
just
him. They had a match prior back in 2008, but it's way different now. It's way different from how Zack Sabre Jr. was then to now.
Well, if I remember correctly, they were both part of a wrestling league, and they both had crazy undefeated streaks until each other beat each other.
What was that? Do you know? Because I don't think I've ever heard of this league.
Oh man, I don't have my Google foo with me.
Okay.
Strike that for the record until I get proof.
Okay. We'll actually put a pin in that. Um. So were you like okay? So Cliff, you were able to see this. What did you What did you think of the match?
I I'm with you. I wanted a better finish, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt like I was already being spoiled as it is. It was a phenomenal nonstop. Like at points, I was like, oh no, I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to handle those things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
The quick.
and I don't know if y'all noticed it, but there was one submission, I can't remember which one, where the announcers were coming out of their chairs to see what the heck he was doing.
Yes.
Like
So
that's
like
amazing.
Yeah.
like Zack Sabre Jr. is the type of wrestler to where he'll put you in a hold so weird, and then when you look at it through the screen, you're like, I need to see the other angle. The announcers will stand up just to see what's going on.
Yeah, I was like,
That I mean,
how is there 5 arms and there's only 2 people? How's that work?
I don't know, man. He had like Danielson's arms were behind his back, and he had his legs crossed, and he kept switching from a different limb every 3 or 4 seconds. He went from an arm to a neck to a leg to the other leg to the neck,
I
other
mean, but
arm. I'm like,
that's that though. Like that's what I wanted, right? And
yes,
for a while that was supposed to be Neville, right? It
yes,
was Neville for a while, and then as soon as he went to mainland TV time, bloop, take that away.
yeah. Because like Neville has a very underrated submission game too. So it's kind of like Neville pack to AEW fans if you're not aware. But a lot of the times like we don't get to see this style of submissions that often. Like so the fact that Zack Sabre Jr. is actually here
Wrestling. Well,
is
yeah, I mean, if you remember back in the day, man, we used to have like belts fought via submission matches, right? And not even just
mm-hmm.
one, like 2 out of 3 falls, and it was all submissions. That was
Kurt Angle versus Benoit.
it was the best timeline.
Oh man.
Colton, eat. Come eat while you watch.
So those matches were the match blew my mind. A lot better than what I expected. I though my only gripe was like I said, it should have ended in a submission. It should have, not in a strike.
How about you, Charlie?
But
You a Saber hater? What's up?
Oh me?
he
No,
ain't saying nothing.
I hadn't said nothing. I was giving you guys the opportunity to talk. I mean,
Are
what,
you
That was my segue,
homie just came out of jail. I figured he'd be excited. Want to talk about something first
Oh,
topic.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But no. So yeah, no. I mean, a good match overall. I will say there was a point in the match where like Moxley stood up and he told Danielson, he's like, Brian, fuck that guy up or something like that. Like,
Oh, I love that.
I was
Yes,
so
that was a
I
good
enjoy
call.
I like that, and then I don't remember if it was I'm pretty sure it happened in this match too, where they went to an abdominal stretch. They called it the Cobra stretch because of Antonio Inoki, and they actually this wasn't the only match that had one. They had we didn't touch on this in the other matches, but there was spots I think in Kingston versus Shibata, and maybe one in I don't know, was it Yuta versus Starks or
Yeah,
that
that
had the Cobra stretch in it, and so I mean it was a pretty good callback. to what the theme of the overall pay-per-view was in that. So I mean,
Yeah, so
that's
like,
pretty much the only
yeah,
notes
so
I had from the match. Good match, a bunch of holds. It was pretty interesting, but no submission win, which was kind of like lackluster finish, somewhat.
I
So
feel like everybody wanted that, right? Like it was
yeah,
a wind out of the sails with the strike finish.
yeah, but it does leave an opportunity
Like you
for
said,
something
yeah,
big later.
it gives us something to look forward to, especially now that they're getting a lot more exposure, I think, than they used to.
Yeah.
That Forbidden Doors definitely helped them out.
Oh man,
well,
like so, I was bummed out whenever they couldn't do it last year because I think that would have been the perfect time to do it. But now that they waited until this year, I was like, you know what? Now's the time to do it. So
well,
I'm glad they waited.
if this was Danielson, like Danielson mentioned that this is his last year in wrestling, 2023. So supposedly for real this time. I don't know. I mean, that might just be kayfabe, right? It might be a work. Hold on, let me hit the work sound effect real quick. Cling cling. Got some construction going, but no.
Yeah,
Well, do you think it has
yeah.
anything to do with the rumors of his wife coming back?
I
Oh,
mean, that
is
would
that a
be pretty
shoot?
cool.
Is that a shoot?
Would that be a shit?
I think I would. I look.
Or I say
Say
shoot because this supposed to be a sound effect. Shoot is that a shoot?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't play the sound effects through the
you got Arn
microphone.
Anderson talking.
But I know, right?
Oh yeah, but yeah. So apparently Bree on social media, I think it was like through a Q&A, mentioned that she would like to go back into the ring.
Yeah.
And somebody asked Brian Danielson during the media scrum how did he feel about Bree coming back, and from what he said was there's a good chance she might come back if she puts her mind to it because she, in their family she's the one that calls the shots, and he even said if she wants to do it, she's gonna do it. So in his words, never say never.
Well,
Um,
if that's the case, then they'll all start traveling together, and maybe that'll put another year or two on Danielson's career. Because
that'd be cool.
from what he said the last pay per view, he said he said that this was his last year because he told Birdie when she turned 7 that he'd be staying at home with her and all this other stuff. So that'll either give Bree a chance to come back and then Danielson retires and stays at home, I guess, or they both travel together. So,
Or Danielson could be more of a part timer.
but final thoughts on this topic?
I'd love to see, even if he retires, like let him stay and be like a general manager, right? One that those cool fighting general managers that you get in their face and they're just gonna knock you out because they
Yeah,
can,
he'll fight back.
right? Like William Regal didn't put up with no crap.
Yeah.
I feel like if Paul Heyman wasn't a giant Tootsie Roll, he might be one of those guys.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
dope.
I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I don't know when Birdie's turning 7, honestly. But
You don't have it
I
on
do
your
feel that.
calendar? Come on, man.
It's
Well, I think it'll be creepy if I put it on my calendar.
I'd say sometime in 2024, I'd imagine. So I mean, like, I don't
So
know.
there's still time.
There's still a little bit of time.
Well, and then
I
what's
do.
2023 though? Like, is that the wrestling season 2023? And then when does that start and stop for AEW? Right?
Yeah, he didn't.
Well,
He didn't exactly say.
technic-
So
yeah. So technically, this Wednesday is going to be the 4-year anniversary of AEW.
yeah,
So I guess we could start from there. I was going to say, so I do hope they do resolve this Zack Sabre Jr. and Brian Danielson debacle, because there has to be a winner by submission. And as much as I love the match, of course, we can't get everything we want. I just wish that they managed that there is a payoff later.
yeah,
Any closing thoughts on this match?
nah.
17 stars.
I agree. Charlie Boy?
No, I mean, I would like to see a different finish. It'd be cool to get a series of matches from this. But other than that, yeah, no, that's about it. Cool match. Feels good.
All right. So next match we have the Don Callis family versus Chris Jericho and the Golden Lovers. Of course, prior to the match, during I want to say Dynamite,
Danger.
Takeshita attacked Ibushi in Japan.
Yeah, he did.
What's so funny?
What's so funny? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you know what I'm laughing at, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. No, Cliff actually.
Kayfabe's dead.
Yeah, kayfabe's dead. Cliff actually posted this in the in our Wrestlers of Baytown chat on Facebook, but said, it was a picture of some fan caught the interaction live in Japan, and apparently Kenny Omega was filming the
right
segment
behind the camera.
Yeah.
But you know what?
was
Though?
like-
I'm not bad at it. Like, as long as I don't see that on my TV screen, I
Yeah,
can
that's
handle
true.
them being bros outside, right? Because, up, down, down did the same thing. They're all supposed to be fighting each other, but then they're playing games together right afterwards. And
Yeah, this is just a quick little side note on this whole thing here. Like, I agree with Cliff here. As long as it's not on the main channel,
Yeah.
of course, like, they're all human. It's not like this is the first time that it's happened. We used to have Jim Duggan and the Iron Machine getting high together a long time ago in WWF.
hell
So-
yeah.
So, but that was the thing then too. Like the whole idea of kayfabe, I do understand that there has to be some sort of like illusion to it, but we got to remember, guys, this is not. They can't really be in character 24/7. You can go crazy if you start doing that. You know,
Yeah,
you can start going crazy.
basically what I understood from that is Don Callis and Tenoshi Testa don't have any friends, so they had to have Kenny Omega go on with it to film.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
What is the lowliest number, dog?
But yeah, so leading up to this match, like Oscar was trying to say before I laughed about it, was the fact that they did a little promo. Of course, Kenny was there, but that was a shoot that he was there. He wasn't supposed to be there. You weren't supposed to know about it. Regardless,
Yeah.
They did a promo in Japan, and they ended up going to
Ibushi's dojo.
yeah, Kota Ibushi's dojo, and they beat up some little underling, and then Ibushi was there, and they beat him up, and you're not even safe in Japan, and all that kind of stuff. So that led up to the actual match.
Hey, hang on, before we go further, didn't Takeshita hit Ibushi with a kettlebell?
Yeah, he did. Takeshita takes his kettlebell that's at the dojo and hits Ibushi, and it's supposed to like have shook him up a little bit or something, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they showed that segment, and then so that was kind of the lead up to this. And Jericho, Omega, Ibushi all are on one team. Takeshita, the recently split from Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay team up. And the first thing that happens in the match, you hear the crowd start chanting "F you, Callis."
They were loud.
It was loud, yeah. People hate
They
him.
were loud.
People hate him so much.
One thing I like to note, like during the entrance of the Don Callis family, the Titantron had the Last Supper on there. We had Don Callis as the head, of the table. I thought it was funny to see.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny to see Guevara, Takeshita, and Ospreay as part of the disciples, like drawn in like that. I thought it was funny.
I don't know. It's something about the whole Don Callis thing. I think he's a good mouthpiece, but something about his little family thing just doesn't feel like cohesive enough.
Oh, it's getting there.
I feel like, wasn't he the one that's always like, oh, look, we got Neville. Oh, he's out. Because nobody can get along with him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that actually. Oh, he's hurt, so he's injured right now.
I just feel like every time they brought in somebody new for the past few times, it's been like, oh, here's our new guy, and let's get him out of here. Oh, no, I'm mixing them up with Blackpool. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So, honest mistake. There's a lot of factions there. It's okay.
I do like that.
Yeah. So going into the match, A lot of good action here and there. Ospreay doing his thing, Jericho doing his thing as well. Omega. The one thing I did not see, not a lot of interaction, but kind of people wanted to see it, was there was moments where Takeshita would have a submission on. I want to say, give an example, like on Jericho, and Ibushi would just go in there and just kick the crap out of Takeshita to let go of the hold, and Ibushi just does this weird smug walk, and the people want to see them fight, but they did a good job of keeping them separated because I don't think they ever tagged in to fight each other. They only fought each other when they weren't the legal man. So
Good looking.
yeah, so I do want to see Ibushi versus Takeshita. I really do want to see that match. Of course,
Winter is
Ibushi.
coming.
Yeah, dude, that'll be a good match to watch then. That'll be a good time. So again, Ibushi looked a little rough there. He's gotten a little bit better. He did have maybe one little botch, taking like a back suplex, supposed to land on his feet, but he fell back. Not gonna harp on him that much on that because he's in order for you to get better, you got to keep wrestling, and that's what he's trying to do. Eventually, he's not gonna have that problem no more. Um, a lot of funny moments where I think I missed this or I might be remembering it wrong. Did Jericho do that weird butt spin and then Ibushi does the Jericho hand under chin that does that smile that Guevara and Jericho used to do?
Right.
Well, Guevara used to do it. Jericho used to just come up on top of him and put his elbows on top of Guevara, right?
Yeah, but I think Jericho and Ibushi did it.
Oh, did they? I must have missed that spot. Honestly, yeah, if they did, I mean, that would be a good spot, I suppose, or at least funny if they pulled it off right, I guess.
I think they did because I remember I don't know, this weird moment. I turned around for some reason, and then when I saw Ibushi, he was on top of Jericho with his hand across like how Jericho and Guevara used to do it. Guevara doing the work, flying around like if he's like the weight of a feather.
Mm-hmm.
Basically going on commentary as well as his mouthpiece, basically trying to get himself over. A lot of good back and forth. Ospreay doing his thing. Always love seeing his work. Everyone doing crazy stuff, and then Guevara gets the win.
Yeah.
Through
Did he get it through the code breaker, or was the code breaker earlier on? I don't remember.
It was earlier on. It was through, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember what happened. It was. Doesn't really say here on my notes.
Yeah,
but I believe. Okay, so Don Callis did get involved. He hit Jericho with something. Oh, with the bat. That's what he did.
Okay.
He hit Jericho with the bat. And then Guevara got the pin and win. So Don Callis' family took off with another win. That marks 7 months of losses for Kenny Omega on pay-per-views, or 7 straight pay-per-views with losses, I should say.
So I will say my notes say so my thoughts and my notes say 6-man spot / botch fest, lol. But it also says some spots were pretty good, like the one you mentioned with the Jericho spinning around, the one that I mentioned with Guevara having the code breaker. But I wasn't nuts about this finish because it just looked like. So they missed some of their spots at the end as far as like the wrestlers and the referee interaction, because like the biggest takeaway that I had, like, it was a good match, but the wrestlers were holding the referees like way too long. Like, this was obvious to me that these referees would not be this dumb to be this distracted for like 20...
You better not turn around.
20,
you better not turn around.
45 seconds or something like 20, 30, 45 seconds. It was ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry, but if Will Ospreay is holding a female referee, I don't think she's going to want to let him go.
Hey, there you go.
So
That's what it was. Okay, well that
that's
makes
what it was, man.
that makes sense.
I'm not I'm not saying swing that way, but if I had Will Ospreay hugging me like that, I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Your neck hurt? Are you cool, bro? You need me to rub your neck? You want to make sure he's good, right? So but if something happens behind me, I'm not gonna know what's gonna happen.
No, you gotta check
So
on his kids and make sure they're doing all right, and ask about his
right, yeah.
wife.
See, Cliff knows.
No. Yeah,
He knows.
check on the kids during the wrestling match. Hey, oh yeah, by
Yeah.
the way, how's your kids?
Yeah, man.
How's your father?
Yeah.
What power company are you using, man? What kind of kilowatt per hour are you getting?
Yeah.
You want to grab McDonald's later?
Final thoughts on this, so we can so we move on. I guess anybody.
Clifton, you want to go first?
I give it 5 out of 10 sideways thumbs.
Sideways thumbs. Well, any thoughts? We didn't really get to hear much thoughts from Cliff on this match. What do you think, Cliff? What do you think about the match?
Long story short, thought there was some cool build up for the Japan stuff, but honestly, it felt like they threw in a lot of people in there, and they weren't showcased as well as they could have been. I mean, this is supposed to be like a huge night. This to me was like one of the two kind of 50-50 matches of the night. Like everything else was kind of stellar, but this one just didn't hit me the same. I don't know. Could have been the botches. Maybe it was the referee conversations.
Yeah. Hey, that
Could have
could
been
take out
worse.
of that. Yeah. Like so, the way that I saw it too was like the match was okay. It wasn't bad. The botches did, but like I said, it wasn't just Ibushi. There were some moments where Guevara messed up too, and Jericho, and everyone had everyone had their hand in it as well. The one thing I did want to see expounded more is Ibushi and Takeshita. I do eventually want to see that match, and I think that's what we're going to build up to. And I would love to see that, like Clifton said, if they do it at a Winter is Coming, that would be a good match to have on there. I
Yeah,
want to see that happen.
nice little cup of cocoa while those two just beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, the American Dream. All right. What about you, Charlie Boy? What do you think of the match?
Yeah, like I mentioned, my final thoughts was kind of in was kind of in my review, my limited review, but 6-man spot / Bosch Fest. But some spots were pretty good, and the finish was meh. Wrestlers were holding the rest too long, and that's all I got, pretty much.
All right. So we got our next match, which is for the AEW Tag Team titles, which is Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR Tag Team Champions, against Aussie Open. This is their second time that they've faced off against each other. Actually, it was mentioned it was to the day, so it was actually a year ago that they last wrestled with each other for gold. And last time, FTR went out on top, and this is it. This was Aussie Open's chance to do the same to make it even. Not gonna lie to you guys, I did not watch much of this match. Um, I did see key moments where Aussie Open basically took over the match, and they were showing how dominant they were. I did see the botch shatter machine that they attempted, which looked kind of at first it looked kind of scary because it looked like Cash Wheeler went pretty high and caught that knee on the way down from Aussie Open. But all around the match was good. Uh, any any notable moments that I might have missed, or you think I should expound on?
For me, this was the highlight match. I went to the bathroom. I love FTR. I don't know, man. The build up to this wasn't like any other FTR match. Like everything else they've ever done felt more serious. It was either pride or the gold. Even the gold didn't seem like it was up for that much of a grabs to me,
Yeah,
in my limited perspective. I mean, it
yeah.
wasn't a
Okay.
bad match. I'd give it above a 5, but
How about you, Charlie Boy?
That's
Charlie Boy.
yeah. I'm here. Sorry, I just got back actually because it's funny. I heard what Cliff said about the bathroom. Yeah, it's the same. It was a bathroom match. I just went to the bathroom because we were talking about it. I was like, well, they got it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So no, but seriously, no, I mean, I don't know. Aussie Open, I don't know how to feel about these guys yet. They're relatively new in AEW. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of their stuff in New Japan.
They're good.
They could possibly be really good. Like you said, they're good. I believe you. I'd like to watch more. I'd like to know more, but it was just kind of like, well, going through the motions, I guess. I don't know.
Like I said, like whenever you like I mentioned before, this is the second time they wrestled each other. If you watch the first time they wrestled each other, that one was the good match. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that in Ring of Honor that they wrestled because it was like Ring of Honor titles?
Yeah, I believe so.
So they wrestled there. Or if it wasn't that, it was for the NJPW titles because they were in New Japan at the time.
That's possible too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was. I don't want to say underwhelming. It wasn't as exciting as the first time as the first go around that they had. So it could have been a lot better. I just feel that I think they're saving that for a later date. But for me, the match was good, which does set up FTR versus the Young Bucks in the future, since the Young Bucks won the tag match earlier in the night. Thoughts on that possible matchup? You think it's gonna be a regular matchup or 2 out of 3 falls? Maybe a ladder match? What do y'all think?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give Cliff the floor mostly on this one because, like, I kind of gave my thoughts in the 4-way tag match that earlier about what I think that's going to happen. But since Cliff wasn't here, I'll mention real quick. It was I think either the Hardys are going to win the titles from FTR, or FTR is going to retain. Or excuse me, the Young Bucks are going to win the titles from FTR, and then that'll set up Young Bucks versus Hardys. Or FTR is going to retain, and then they're going to fight the Hardys, and they're going to lose the titles to the Hardys to set up Hardys versus Young Bucks. And I think that's the main goal, is Hardys versus Young Bucks for the titles. That's my personal take on it. What you got, Cliff?
I feel like that's probably the smart play. Give them one last title run. God forbid Jeff does something else and gets kicked out of wrestling again.
Yeah,
I love the
like
man to death, but it's just like I'm worried every time he gets out there, and I'm worried every time he gets off because I'm like, okay, is he gonna go take something and not come back and violate
yeah,
another wellness policy?
yeah. It's already it's of course there's like a long history of Jeff Hardy going through all that stuff, and it's unfortunate, right? But the style that he does, like it's not a style that's gonna be good for you in like in the long run, and he's still doing that style.
Yeah, no, his body ain't meant for that anymore, man. Like you need guys like Hook and what's his nuts, Hook's protege, or not Hook's protege.
Cassidy,
Yeah, Cassidy's boy, Flash not boy.
yeah. What's his touch?
You need those kinds of guys, right? Not this dude that's got kids and practically be a grandfather by now. And
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. So like Grandpa's jumping off a ladder again.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't
Bro,
need to see it, man.
bro, I
Like
saw
I don't.
whenever Hardy landed on Billy Gunn, when Jeff landed on Billy Gunn, that looked kind of rough for Billy. Because he did
Oh,
his swantons aren't like they used to be, where they'd hit the opposite end and then he would go like bounce across the ring. He's bouncing on the people that he's landing
Yeah,
on now.
yeah.
it's less
So,
swan and more tawn.
like, so I don't know if you guys ever heard the Edge and Christian podcast before, but they had the Hardy Boys back when Woken Matt, I should say, and Jeff Hardy were on there as guests, and Edge made a joke about Jeff saying, "Goes, man, Jeff, I remember you used to be so good with the Swanton. Now you just said fuck it and just fall on us." He's like, yeah, I used to hurt my back trying to protect you guys. And I just said, you look out and put all my weight on your stomach.
Get ready, here I go.
Pretty much. So, so it's already like to the point where he can't really do it anymore. He just does a falling flip on you.
Yeah, you wait. You don't get tagged in until 7 minutes in the match, and you do one spot.
Yeah, pretty much. And then your older brother Matt doing a scary moonsault where he doesn't look like he's jumping up; he's just falling down with style.
Right?
Yeah, so it's
Falling while rotating. That's pretty much what
yeah.
it is.
You call that rotating? That's literally falling with style.
So, so if
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if this whole scenario does end up happening, where FTR drops the belts to either the Young Bucks or the Hardys or whatever, that also sets up now that what happened in the next match happened.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm
You
sure
know everybody wants it.
but yeah,
that
also sets up
what is it? I want to know.
all Ledge and Christian Cage versus the Hardys.
Oakland and Cage, dog.
Hey, whoa, hey, whoa. Let's work our way up to this.
Hypothetically.
Well, that's hypothetically, but yeah.
Hypothetically, what if Saxton Hardcastle?
Bro, I wanted it so bad.
He said it. He actually did. He did say it in the media scrum. He said, "My Damian Stryker Saxton Hardcastle days."
Oh God, you should have brought it back.
Yeah, that would have been funny. But we're gonna get to that. Closing thoughts. Already did all that for that match. Next match is the main event.
Yep.
Between Darby Allin and Christian Cage for the TNT title. 2 out of 3 falls. My thoughts were, what the fuck?
Slobber knocker.
Well, Slobber knocker's underselling it though. To me, they're still underselling it. I think I saw one of the most scariest spots ever in my life.
Go on.
And let's just be clear, all right? This was a homecoming for Darby Allin. He had a lot of hometown support.
Oh yeah.
Christian Cage booed, rightfully so. He had Luchasaurus in the back, and Sting was in the back because they were barred from ringside. So it was a strictly one-on-one. There was a lot of good moments where Christian would throw his weight around Darby, basically trying to take advantage of certain situations. Darby gets the first win by pulling Christian Cage's own shirt over his head, making him blind, and then giving him a pinning predicament. Pinning 1, 2, 3. Darby gets the first fall. Christian looking like a dope.
Yeah, I just don't know why you need your eyes to move your legs.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's wrestling and magic of television and all, but come on.
I think that's a shirt now. I think we should make that a shirt.
What? You don't need your eyes to move your legs?
Yeah. On the bottom will say Cliff.
Picture of Christian with his shirt over his head.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Looking like Beavis and Butthead looking for some cornholio.
Dude, I think we found our first merch, guys.
Yeah.
If we find our first merch, I can see that on a coffee mug. I can see that on a shirt, maybe on a mouse pad.
Yeah, man.
All right. So we got that. We had that going, and then second round starts, and Darby basically gets killed in the second round.
Murder.
Really does.
He's murdered, basically. I've never seen this in my life, and I watched wrestling a long time. The closest thing I could think of something like this is when, which I'll get to in a minute. I'll just basically describe the story here. Christian Cage basically sees the ring steps outside, and he moves it to a way to a manner where the stairs are pointing towards the ring, which means the stairs are facing the ring, right? Um, and of course, Christian picks up Darby Allin. He didn't do it the first time because because honestly, this is how scary the spot is. Christian, as bad as he is in like as far as the character, he still wants to protect you, right?
Yeah, he's a professional.
Yeah, he is a professional. I think it freaked him out because it took 3 times. It took 3 times for him to do the spot. The first spot, he just picks him up in a position where, and I think he had a hard time putting him on his shoulder. I think what it looked like when he was standing on the apron with Darby.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like, so what I figured was going to happen is carry him in like in a body slam position, put his body overhead, and then push him over far enough for him to reach the steps. The thing was that I don't think he felt comfortable enough pushing him that far because, of course, if you get enough air, you'll pick up more speed and you're gonna, hit pretty hard, right? So the first one he does, he just literally picks him up, does even by itself with no steps, does a body slam off the ring apron to the floor. That still hurts.
Yeah, man.
That still hurts. Okay, I should make a note of this too. Charlie Boy and I, we were already talking in the chat as this is happening, and we were joking that Christian was going to throw Darby onto those steps. Right, Charlie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Charlie's like, "Wow, he's gonna body slam him onto the steps." And then next thing you know, Christian picks him up from the floor and then body slams him on the steps, of course.
And then Darby probably sit there and said, "Why didn't you do it from the ring apron, pussy?"
Yeah, he probably looked at him and said, "Pussy."
Because he got back up there and did the original spot.
Yeah, so we were Charlie and I were laughing at this point. We were like, okay, thank God he's not gonna fucking kill him. And then Christian Cage goes up and kills Darby Allin by picking him up, getting back on the apron, and from the apron throwing him down to the ring steps. He didn't do it right either. He fell on his side, and that angle looked nasty. And Charlie Boy made the note of it looked like Darby hit his head on that first step that's vertical alongside it.
Yeah, he smacked the crap out of his head. They showed it 3 times.
And what's crazy to me is that Darby has that tattoo of a spine on his back, right? You could kind of see a representation of his spine folding over the steps because you literally see his body fold over each step and as he ricochets off of it. And everyone in the arena is like freaking out. They're like, "Oh my God, he fucking killed him."
Yeah,
Match is over.
You just watched the murder.
Yeah. And I'm like, I paid for a murder, basically. So, of course, they get the physicians out to come check up on Darby. As that's happening, Christian Cage is cutting the ropes of the ring apron, and he starts to take the ring apart. He starts to remove the mat and the padding, exposing it to the bare wood in the ring. And they're going to cart off Darby Allin in the stretcher, right? And I think this is Charlie's favorite part because he called for this to happen. And Charlie called this. I will say that. He goes, "Watch Christian jump on top of Darby while he's on the stretcher." And then as soon as he said it, that's the first thing he freaking does. Christian goes to the corner, sees Darby on the stretcher, and then jumps on top of Darby while he's laying on the stretcher.
Well, it was kind of obvious. It was kind of obvious. I mean, you know the match wasn't about to end unless Darby was really hurt, and I don't know. It was just. It looked like he was really hurt, and Christian gave the time for him to recover by cutting off.
He broke his arm.
Yeah.
His arm was pretty much broken.
Yeah, he gave the time for Darby to recover by cutting up the ropes and all that stuff, and then I just felt like Christian was gonna do something, And then there. So I said I think he's gonna give him a splash from the top rope, and he did.
And which I thought was what even then that still looked pretty nasty. And then Christian throws Darby into the ring and hits him with the Imprettier, well, the
Bro,
kill switch, I should say,
nasty.
which looked
Nasty.
nasty. I'm like, oh my god, this is over. Please let it end. Darby kicks out.
I threw my
Darby
cup.
starts having home spots. He starts having a home spot. Lands the coffin drop. Christian kicks out. And I'm like, how's this gonna end? And next thing you know, Christian grabs the TNT title. He's about to hit Darby with it, but then Nick Wayne comes out, grabs the title from him, takes it away, and basically they're both in the ring together. Uh, Christian baying for his life, and I forgot to mention Nick's mom's in the crowd. She's like, "Yes, son, hit him," and
Do it.
and then do it, kill him, and he's about to, he looks like he's about to hit Christian, and then Nick just hits Darby with the title.
Bro, ain't he just got here?
Yes.
Boy's like 18, ain't he?
Oh, and I forgot to mention Christian speared the referee, which was pretty funny.
Oh no, the ref got one too.
Yeah, the ref got one too. So that's how the whole title thing happened. That's why that's how the hit happened. And basically, Christian pulls Darby towards the ring, wakes up the referee. Long 3 count. Christian Cage still your TNT champion,
Not my champion.
not our champion. Got the win, and basically starts gloating that he's the winner. And then next thing you know, they start beating up Darby. They're getting ready to do a concerto. They're getting the chairs ready. Sting comes out, starts saving the day. Luchasaurus comes out, beats up
Mind you,
Sting.
this is like still 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, which looked pretty funny that they all jumped Sting and Sting just crumples over because he is an old man at this point. Oh,
True. Daddy
it
Sting.
looks funny. And it looks like they're about to, kill Sting because they're going to hit him with a concerto, which would have been a first. He's never been hit by it. And
Yeah, I
then
know.
out
He's
of
been pretty
no,
protected.
what's up?
I said, yeah, he's been pretty protected against that one.
Yeah, and it looked like Sting was gonna die. Because Christian, I feel like Christian, if you're gonna die, let Christian do it because he's the type of guy that will kill you.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the lights go off, and then a vignette shows up on screen, and there's like a hot rod car, and it's driving through the city of.
I got to admit, the pyro as he was driving was dope.
Fun fact, that wasn't planned.
Really?
Yeah, that happened during a Seattle Mariners baseball game because they had just won the game.
Bro, that was the shot. Like,
Yeah,
if you could
yeah,
roll up to every match with pyro and a
yeah,
car.
yeah. So it was actually by accident. Even Darby even said it too. It was like the Mariners won the baseball game, and I think it was against the Astros of all things. So, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Seattle. All right, you're welcome. So, and then next thing you know, the lights come back on. People are figuring out what's going on, and then you think you know me, but it's a female voice. And then Metalingus is playing through the speakers of AEW.
I didn't believe it.
I screamed. Charlie Boy could not believe it. Ledge is here. Oh, I'm sorry, not Ledge. Corner is here,
Yep.
and he's all elite.
Bro, whenever
Saxton is here.
whenever they after he did all his what he did in the ring and all that, they said they said Adam Copeland, but I could have sworn I heard him say Adam Black, and I was like, what? But they did say the rated R superstar, which was pretty cool. Because apparently WWE
Never copyrighted any of it.
no, they
They
did.
couldn't.
No, they
They
copyrighted.
didn't
couldn't.
copyright it or whatever.
They
couldn't.
copyrighted it. They copyrighted the Rated R Superstar. However,
No.
the copyright was
No, they
dead.
couldn't.
Well, from
No, they couldn't.
from what I
It was
read,
never.
it was dead.
It was never copyrighted. Actually, Edge owned that.
Interesting. Well, from what I read, I saw a sheet where it said 2020 copyright rated R Superstar, and then it was dead, so they were able to pick it up. But
Well, not that it was dead; it was denied. So they
Yeah, I
tried. So
think
it's
they
not like they never.
tried and they failed many times,
Yeah. So,
right?
so so it's not like they never did it. It's like they attempted to do it, but it never went through because it was already it belonged. It believe it or not, it belonged to Adam Copeland. Now the name Edge belongs to WWE,
yeah,
so that one could not be transferred over.
Here's
But
my
as far as
question.
the team, yeah. So other than that, the theme could be transferred because it belongs to Alter Bridge. And they gave permission to use an AEW because Edge is good friends with the lead singer.
Here's my
So
question.
yeah, go ahead.
We had our fantasy bookings. We kind of felt he was coming, right? There was scuttlebutt.
I think you called it first,
I
Twisted.
did.
You
I
did.
did.
You called it. Well, we
I
called
didn't
it.
want
We called
to,
it for
but I
all
did.
though. That would have been crazy if it happened all in.
Do you think he should have came with a different song? Or maybe started with the You Think You Know Me and then had a different song?
I I
Do
I
you think it
think
would have
that
changed anything?
honestly, that's an iconic song. I'm
I know,
sorry,
but
like
man,
that's
why you gotta Control C, Control P in my AEW, dog?
well,
I
okay.
don't,
Well, let me ask you this: what other theme would you want?
oh, bro, I don't know, I don't know. Like I said, I would take a hybrid of you starting with the You Think You Know Me and then give me a cool new song.
I'll go back to his Rob Zombie song.
There you go. Or shit, give Fozzy to
Never.
sing you another song.
That would be funny.
Chris Jericho
Go
sing
back to
about
the
theme
old
song,
song.
guys. Sorry.
But yeah, so Edge comes out. I'm sorry, not Edge. I mean, that's one thing we have to start getting used to. I can't call him Edge no more. Adam Copeland comes out for Hardcastle. I'm gonna start calling him Hardcastle. Hardcastle comes out
We know who you're talking about.
and basically just goes into the ring, and Christian and him having this little stare down. Nick Wayne is standing to the side of Adam Copeland, and so is Luchasaurus. So they're on opposite ends. And Christian has the chair. For a brief moment, they're just staring at each other, and then he just hands him the chair. And I'm thinking, oh my god, everyone's cheering that Edge is here at AEW, but we're missing the fact that he could possibly kill Sting.
Yeah, like, don't cheer this murder. Please don't.
That'd be funny if he actually did go through it, and then the music just stops.
Bro, like, honestly, I would have been okay with that, right? Like,
Really?
I would have taken a surprise pop crazy finish.
Yeah. So Edge is getting ready to swing the chair. He does this neat little like spin move where he'll picks up the chair, does a spin move, swings and hits the back of Nick Wayne, and then he attacks Luchasaurus with the chair. As this is happening, Christian jumps out of the ring, and then he hits Luchasaurus with a spear onto the wooden floor of the ring, basically saving the day. Um, Darby Allin and Sting both stand up, and they both see Edge, Saxton, I should say, Hardcastle, and they both extend their hands in respect of him for saving them. So it was a field goal moment at the end. We have a new member of the All Elite Wrestling family, and I'm very happy to see that happen. Thoughts? Whoever wants to take the floor.
Calling it now. Copeland joins House of Black.
I thought about that too. I was like, yo, what? They're
Take over
definitely
as leader.
they're gonna definitely give him like a stable so he can do what he was gonna do for the Judgment Day because they just kind of ripped that away from him. But my thoughts on
Charlie
that,
boy, hey Charlie,
what,
he could take over Dark Order.
dude, that would be cool. I'd be down with that.
Join the Dark Order. Heck
Nah,
yeah, they
I
need a
don't know.
new like
Maybe.
shot to the arm.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Charlie. What you were saying?
No. I mean, that's an interesting concept. I don't know. Dark Order does need something new. But what I was gonna mention was He does already have a match scheduled. If you watch the media scrum afterwards, he mentions this week for the 4-year anniversary, he's going to be on the mic, kind of explaining what happened at the pay per view and this, that, and the other, which is 2 days away from now.
Yeah.
But then I think the following week is going to be his debut match.
Yes.
And apparently he's requested a match against Luchasaurus for his first match.
Correct. Yes.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see and talk about for the next 2 weeks to see where Ledge, a.k.a. Adam Copeland, goes. Rated R Superstar goes in AEW. A great debut.
Superstar.
Great debut. Huge pop. I've probably watched that debut clip over probably like 4 or 5 times at least at this point, if not 10. I don't know. It was a feel good moment. It was awesome it's awesome to see him not only tell the story that he came back to wrestling, but now he's coming back full time because WWE are a bunch of scrubs and don't want to put him on the screen full time. So. But it's going to be interesting to see, and like I mentioned earlier, it'd be cool eventually if after him and Christian have a feud or whatever, that they team up and then they can go for the tag team titles, and you can have the Hardys versus Edge and Christian.
Ledge and Cage.
Ledge and Christian, yeah.
corner and Cage.
Now the cage corners.
Cage corner. Oh fuck!
What you got on it, Cliff? What do you think?
Yeah, Cliff. What do you think?
Oh, what? The whole thing all together? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me step outside.
No, you're good. No, we can kind of call this like the wrap up or the final thoughts, because this is the last match, and Edge. So basically the whole thing. What do you think about Edge's debut, the Darby match?
The pay-per-view was a real solid showing. Like I said, out of all the matches, and I even enjoyed some of the pre-show matches, to be honest with you. The kids that were watching it in the truck when I was taking them home, man, they were into it. So I think as a whole, it was a solid pay-per-view, man. Like, I think it was probably just about worth the money. Like, there wasn't any bangers. It was nice. Like you said, Edge showing up was Copeland showing up was a cool pop. Nothing too major, but some really good story progression. So I liked it. It was a good one.
Jr. and Danielson stole the show for me.
Yeah, that was definitely a match.
Yeah. What about you, Charlie Boy?
Yeah, no, good show overall. Besides the Sabre Jr. Danielson match being really good, I was a huge pop for Edge, or Adam Copeland's debut. I'm interested to see where the storylines go from here.
I mean, the media scrum, he said he's gonna be fighting, right? And he's guaranteed he's gonna be out there.
Yeah, full time.
He made it. He made it a point to where WWE said they didn't want him. Not that they didn't want him, but they didn't have anything planned for him.
That's such a waste, man.
And I'm not harping on WWE on this because they had him since 2020, but I know he got hurt a good chunk of it. I know the pandemic didn't help either. But to me, I thought it was weird that they gave his retirement match on a SmackDown.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course for WWE, man. They kind of just, you don't want to be with us anymore? You're just like a fart in the wind.
Yeah. They could have, he was hoping he would have made it to WrestleMania the next year, because apparently at the time they were debating between Philadelphia and Toronto, which he was hoping to stay in long enough for that, but that wasn't the case, because now it's Philadelphia next year.
I mean, he's going to have so much potential in AEW, and everybody's talking about all these dream matches that never would have happened in WWE.
You know what he did say? Whenever he stepped through the curtain of AEW, he felt freedom for the first time. So he said he said the last time he felt that was whenever he was doing like the indie shows.
Yeah.
So he felt freedom for the first time since WWE, and he's been at WWE live for a good quarter century. Like he was there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so real quick, two real quick things. One, me and Cliff just posted the exact same picture of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, and Edge, pretty much at the same time. But yeah, the other thing, I'm looking at this. Edge has, I guess, as of 19 hours ago, but I don't really have Twitter anymore, or I don't follow it very well. But he put out a big old tweet talking about from the desk of Edge, or Adam Copeland. It's a big old 4-part tweet. As some of you may know, I'm no longer with WWE. My new home is AEW. I'm excited. Whole new roster. He did say in the media scrum that he was just like kind of combing through the roster. He saw 14 names that he really wants to work with already. So he said that in the media scrum. But getting back to this tweet, whole new roster, some familiar faces that I wanted to work with again, and a whole set of first ever matches, new challenges. And if you follow my whole career, that's what I've been driven by. And that's the first part. But I mean, if you guys want me to read the rest of it, I will. But
might as well shoot.
He addresses shoot. Hold on, let me hit the button. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. he addresses his 25 years with WWE. First and foremost, I want to address the 25 years of WWE. I love WWE and appreciate everything the company did for me. Always have, always will. They put this on the map, or they put me on the map, gave me amazing opportunities, and through hard work on both ends, I've been supplied with a wonderful life. Hell, WWE helped me meet the woman I'd start my family with. Sometimes relationships just grow and apart, and I feel the WWE and I have just outgrown each other. I wanted to do more. They didn't have much more for me to do. Simple as that, and that's okay. I still be watching and still be supporting all my friends there. I don't buy into this odd mentality of one company or the other. It's weird. If you took offense to that, take a walk, get some fresh air, and soak up some sunshine. It's wrestling. It's an amazing gig, but still, it's wrestling. Relax. It's supposed to be fun, and it's just a segment of the fans, not most fans, and definitely not the performers. Within the industry, we all know more choices is better for everyone and pushes us all to be better. As a wrestling fan, which I still am, it's exciting that there's viable companies providing wrestling on national and worldwide platforms. If you are actually a wrestling fan and not acronyms, that should make you happy too. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: if you've appreciated my work, you still can, and no matter what the initials are, because I'll still be busting my ass every time I'm out there. The ride isn't over just yet. Just trying to have fun, like it should be. Because trust me, I'll be having fun every time I'm out there in an AEW ring. Let's go.
Is it like an essay? My goodness, man.
It was 4 tweets, 4 different tweets, and that's his whole.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, that's his whole spill.
He earned that, okay?
You're right. Let the man enjoy it.
Yeah. One thing I do want to note, his vignettes. He was his own camera guy for that. He had Darby Allin help him do those vignettes.
Oh yeah.
He told a story that as there's a camera shot where the camera's hanging off the side of the muscle car. Apparently, Darby's driving the car, and the camera guy is hanging off the side of it, and Adam Copeland is hanging on to him outside of it as well. And he's laughing his ass off. He's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna die." He didn't even make it to. He wasn't in AEW yet officially, and he almost already killed himself.
Yeah, he said.
Welcome to the show.
He said he was the one that was holding the camera guy that was hanging off the back of the car to get the shot.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man. Art is dangerous.
But yeah, I mean, final thoughts.
I agree.
Final thoughts overall. Yeah, good show. I'm glad Edge is back. And yeah, I mean, big long essay, big long everything out of the way. Yeah, awesome to see him. Can't wait to see what he does in the future with AEW.
Yay for wrestling.
Yeah. I feel that Edge is gonna fill a punkless hole that needs to be filled. And he's a good fit for it.
I think he actually mentioned something about that as well. As I saw an article or something. So many articles, so many wrestling, so many wrestlings everywhere. But
Wrestling all the time.
But yeah, I guess in closing, big shout outs to Cliff. Finally making.
Hey, I'm glad you got a jail, man.
Finally making it out of jail. You might be back in there for next episode. You might just be visiting right now. I'll just play.
No,
I hope you're good. I hope you're good for sure.
For Cliff.
Oh, thank you.
Clap, clap,
Let's
clap,
give it
clap,
up for
clap.
Charlie Boy.
Oh yeah, thanks Charlie for joining us.
Yeah.
And let's give it up for me.
Oh,
What the hell?
Oh,
Wah, wah. Speaking of, so Cliff,
yeah.
we last talked nearly 6-7 episodes ago from the inaugural podcast. I've always wanted to get your take on this, but we never were able to get on. And I know it's been a month already since this happened, but I kind of need to know at this point because Charlie and I talked about it in detail. The whole CM Punk debacle. How did you feel about how everything played out for him being like led him to get fired? How did you feel about that?
Hey, wait
Look,
a minute. Before we go into that, should we cut this episode here and then maybe do a bonus episode where we talk about this? We can just stay in the chat and do it right now if y'all want.
We can.
Yeah, I gotta.
It doesn't have to be that long. Be like,
I was about to say, because that's about to be like a 20-30 minute conversation, I feel like, or more, right?
Well, I got a neighbor coming by to drop some stuff off, but I don't mind still chatting.
Okay. Either way, I mean, if y'all want to go ahead and tag it onto this one, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'll give you the short of it. As a theater student, I think he's shown every aspect that he can't handle the business. It's a show, man. A show with people all trying to put on a show. If you can't get along with, that's it. I don't think he wanted to be on the stage anymore.
Okay, that's fair. Good take.
I was the biggest Punk fan ever, man, but I saw all the signs of someone just being stupid shitty, so fuck that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But good episode, man. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us finally, because we were worried about is Clifton ever going to join us? But you proved us wrong.
All right, I'm gonna say thanks for watching, and I'm gonna play our outro song, and I'm gonna deafen, but then I'm gonna come back after the outro. So y'all can go ahead, keep talking though if you want. But thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all.